Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to another EBTV Sports presentation. Tonight from J. Doyle Field, it is high school football as the East Brunswick Bears take on the North Brunswick Raiders in a Greater Middlesex Conference crossover game. This is Jimmy Allinder being joined by Richie Whalen. And Richie, 3 games into the season, East Brunswick with a 2-1 record. Things have pretty much gone as we expected. What do you think?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, East Brunswick opened up with 2 impressive wins against Perth Amboy and Edison, and then, faced their first real test of the year against Piscataway, and kind of dug themselves a hole, 19-0, but showed a lot of character and came back to make it 19-13 with an onside kick to try to get the ball back, but weren't able to pull it out. So I think that should give the Bears a lot of confidence that they can play with, some of the best teams, not only in the county but in the state, as Piscataway is the number 6 team in the state. So, I think they're happy right now where they're at, and are really looking forward to playing this game here tonight.
However, we were talking with Kenny Sirocco before the game, and he observed some of the practices this week, and the way he described it is that maybe the Bears were a little flat. Is there any chance of a letdown tonight?
I know they have Sayreville next week, so, you could be looking ahead to that, but I also think, they played Piscataway on a Thursday, and maybe having a couple extra practices, they kind of it's tough when you get in that rhythm. You're playing on a set schedule to have those few extra days. But I think the Bears will be ready tonight in front of the home crowd to really play well.
And meanwhile, the opponent tonight is North Brunswick, a team that East Brunswick has not met for quite a few years, if I remember correctly. And North Brunswick, hard to figure them out. They're a 1-2 team. They opened up with a resounding win over Edison, and then lost to a team, Passaic Votech. We know nothing about them other than it was a good program. And then a more realistic measurement would be the game against Sayreville last week. And North Brunswick was shut out 22-0. So I guess within their own league, this is a white division team. Or are they red division this year?
No, this year actually they moved up.
Yeah, exactly.
Perth Amboy moved to the white.
All right. Well, welcome to the red division, North Brunswick. And you're going to get a further taste of what it's like to play, solid teams, both size and speed, week in and week out. So North Brunswick's going to get another taste of that tonight. Kenny, Richie, back to just some of the players that East Brunswick that have been playing well this year.
Yeah, I think Matt Mariano, the East Brunswick quarterback, has really set the tone for the Bears, and has played really solidly at the quarterback position. And the running backs, East Brunswick seems to have really good depth at the running back position. We were just told before the game that one of their running backs, Jovan Jones, isn't going to be able to play tonight. And I think another key this year has been East Brunswick's defense has really done a nice job also. And they're getting play from everyone this year. I think there's really have a deep team and are playing really well together.
All right, one other quick note. There was as you know, a lot of rain this week, and I'm looking at the field, and as dry as it may have been for the last day or so, it's still pretty sluggish down there, and I'm wondering if that's going to affect the running game tonight. So we'll see. It's going to be East Brunswick against North Brunswick tonight. We're going to take a short break and be back with the kickoff after this. All right, we are back here at J. Doyle Field in East Brunswick, where the Bears are about ready to take on North Brunswick. The captains are coming to the middle of the field for the coin toss. We take a look at the East Brunswick sidelines. Obviously, more numbers than North Brunswick, Rich.
Right, yeah, you can see that right away here.
Yeah. And let's take a look at the captains for East Brunswick. That'd be number 69, Raphael Denise. We've been seeing a lot of him. And, of course, number 61. We got 2 61s listed in our program. Wow. I'm going to believe that that's Tony Ogiel, 6'1", 210.
Yes.
Okay. Number 30 is John Park. Been a great leader this year. Number 53 for East Brunswick is Greg Byrne. He's been a terrific player, both offensively and defensively, but particularly on offense. The East Brunswick offensive line has done a magnificent job.
Yeah, the 2 games that, we saw, they just, dominated up front. And, that's really where the game is won and lost a lot of times up there, and they don't get the credit that they deserve, but they've been doing a great job this year.
See if what's been very popular is the team that wins the coin toss deferring. Seems to be the way things go these days. Let's see what happens. And that's exactly what happened. They deferred to the second half. East Brunswick won the coin toss. So we are about ready to get underway. Let's see if the Bears can shrug off that tough loss to Piscataway. Remember, the game was played on Thursday of last week, so they've had an extra day to recover from the bumps and bruises, as has most every team in Middlesex County that played on the Thursday afternoon before the Jewish holidays.
Right, two things to note here also for East Brunswick. We talked about it a little bit in the opening. Jovan Jones is out with an injury, starting running back and punt and kick returner for East Brunswick. And I also don't see Aaron Horace even on the sideline here. He's had a bad back and hasn't, been able to shake that off. So
yeah,
just to keep that in mind also.
Right. We have a couple of double numbers tonight. We'll have to keep a watch on that. All right, so with Jones out, who would be one of the kickoff returners, you're going to have number 21, that's Rob Ayala. He's been there all year. And then Zelak is going to be back deep for the Bears. Kicking off for North Brunswick. Let's see if we can get his number. Looks to be number 80. Sorry. That'd be number 86 for North Brunswick. And that is Mark Patrone. East Brunswick 2-1, coming off a loss. North Brunswick 1-2, coming off a loss. So somebody will rebound this evening. About ready for the kickoff, and here we go. Deep kick, picked up by Ayala. Ayala cuts to the right. He's got some room up the sideline and wrestled down there. Actually, I think that was Patrone, the guy that kicked off, that made the tackle. So East Brunswick will begin 1st and 10 on its own 36-yard line. We are underway here at J. Doyle Field, and number 1 quarterback, Matt Mariano, who has been at the signal caller all year when the first team's in.
Nice job there by the wall of East Brunswick, giving nice starting field position here.
See if we can set you up with the running backs for East Brunswick as we move along. Give is up the middle to Zelak, actually cuts to the outside, gets good yardage.
Tell you, I like the way that kid runs. He really hits the hole hard and is going north and south. He gets as many yards as he can and every time. And once again, an East Brunswick line doing a great job of getting off the ball there.
And that is going to be key this evening, to see how East Brunswick's offensive line responds. It's a gain of 6 yards on the play, making it 2nd and 4 for East Brunswick. Ball on the 45, just short of the 45-yard line. Actually, Mariano keeps it and gets up the middle. Good yardage, good enough for a first down.
Mariano does a nice job. We get confused sometimes up here also. He does a good job of really getting on the fullback's belly there and wait until the last second. The defense doesn't have time to react. Does that really well.
So that's the first down of the evening for the Bears as they move the ball into North Brunswick territory. Ball's resting on the 47-yard line of the Raiders. Mariano keeps it himself, goes to the right side. Again, excellent yardage. He's hitting those seams. Good blocking scheme by East Brunswick. Really has the defense for North Brunswick confused.
Tell you what, North Brunswick defense also is really going for that first fake, and they're not really containing well, allowing Mariano to get to the outside also.
Another first down for East Brunswick, brings the ball inside the 30-yard line, down to the 29. East Brunswick on the ground. Up the middle, that's Zelak. Bounces off one tackle and drives ahead for about 3 yards. I see Byrne out there on the block. He really has turned into a top-notch player.
Yeah, he plays extremely hard, and you know, I've seen him this summer when I've been up at the high school in the weight room constantly and always trying to get better. So
that was a gain of 4 for Zelak, making it 2nd and 6. Give us to the outside, cut in by Ayala. Wrestles his way up close to a first down. Maybe he's about 1.5 yards to 2 yards short. And it is a 3rd down. 2 yards to go, let's say. East Brunswick on the ground all the way. They're down to about just about the 20-yard line. Give up the middle. Just a quick plunge. And that was by who?
I think that was John Park, fullback.
Yes, it was. Park's first carry of the evening. Another first down for East Brunswick. They started this drive on their own 38-yard line, and in really workmanlike fashion have moved the ball down the field.
That was a big down, too, for East Brunswick. You have that third and 2. I think they would have gone for it anyway where you have another down, but just to keep the momentum going here.
Under 9 minutes to play in the first quarter, no score. Give up the middle once more. I think East Brunswick, Richie, is just thinking that they have the advantage on the offensive line, on the line, and they're trying to utilize that now.
Right, and there are no games about it. They're saying, well, this is what we're doing, and we're not going to stop until you stop us. And North Brunswick so far hasn't been able to do that.
So that's a gain of 4 yards, making it 2nd and 6. The ball resting on the 7-yard line. East Brunswick can get a first down without scoring. Give is to Ayala. I think he was tripped up that time. Credit number 44 for North Brunswick, Benora, getting into the backfield and causing that tackle. So just a gain of 1 yard, maybe 2. All right, Richie, this is about the first third and appreciable yardage to get the first down, about 5 yards to go.
Right.
And I think East Brunswick probably is just going to continue what it's been doing. There's a pass. And was that Fessel?
Yes, it was.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Nobody out there. Fessel alone in the end zone. And that's what happens when you work the line like you do. You know, that one pop pass, North Brunswick was not ready for.
Right, and the thing, too, is East Brunswick gives a nice fake to the fullback there where the linebackers and safeties out there bite up, and Danny Fessel was wide open there. Nice job getting it to him.
So a 7-yard pass from Mariano to Fessel with 7:34 to go in the first period. East Brunswick 6-0. Extra point try. This is by Mariano. Oh, the fumble on the hold. Mariano is going to throw it? Yes. Caught by Ayala, but just short of the goal, so the extra point turns out to be null. And that was just a poor connection between the center and the holder on the kickoff.
It just never got there.
Nonetheless, East Brunswick out to a 6-0 lead, and they consumed nearly 5 minutes of that first quarter.
Yeah, when you run the ball, you know, that clock keeps churning.
North Brunswick has not touched the ball. Well, the cheerleaders are going to be doing a lot tonight, Rich.
Yeah,
hopefully. I mean, it looks like the same sort of thing as far as scoring is concerned. And hopefully we're going to have an opportunity to look at the cheerleaders tonight. There they are.
Well, we'll get a chance to say some of their names when we have a little more time, but, you know, coached by Coach Michelle Sperduto, does a great job with them.
Boy, they're out there in force tonight. Nice crowd.
Yeah, it is.
Usually late arriving because of the 7 p.m. start and traffic being what it is around here. Anyway, East Brunswick 6-0. The kickoff is going to be by number 35 for East Brunswick. That's Quaglieri. It's like a ground kick picked up by their number 1 player. That's Aaron Jackson. Or excuse me, that's number 3. That's Derek Scott. And he's wrestled down by Zelak. And North Brunswick will begin its first opportunity on offense at the 23-yard line. 6-0 East Brunswick, 7:27 left to go in the first quarter of play here at J. Doyle Field. Comfortable night, not overly chilly yet. I see Jones limping off the field. He's taking care of the ball.
Yeah, the kicking
tonight.
ball there.
Yep. All right, quarterback is Brown. He's a junior. And their number 1 back is Aaron Jackson. He with the ball right now. Number 8 gets outside, still on his feet. And he steps out of bounds, I believe, after getting the first down.
I'll tell you what.
No, take that back.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. So he's just short.
Right, 9-yard gain on the play.
It looked pretty impressive right there. It looked
Yes.
like he's got some speed there. East Brunswick's got to be able to contain him tonight.
Jackson is 5'8", 160 pounds, and he is a junior. So it's a 2nd and 1 for the Raiders. Brown calling signals, gives up the middle, caught in the backfield for a loss. I think that was Justin Springer. Is Springer the son of the women's basketball coach for Rutgers? I think she is.
Could be.
I think he is.
I remember when I played, there's also a son of Vivian that played David Stringer.
Right.
But that very well could be because he also played on the North Brunswick football team. So.
All right, they're.
I don't know about that spot. I don't know. I thought he lost yardage also.
Sure did. And they are short. Actually, short by a yard.
I think North Brunswick, it was 2nd and short there, but they're going to have trouble running right into the heart of that East Brunswick defense. I think they're going to be better off trying to get to the outside and try to pick up yardage that way.
Our head official tonight is Mr. Kenny Totten, a veteran of many, many, many high school games in this area. And he's surrounded by a very able crew as well. Okay, so it'll be a 3rd and 1, a short one, let's call it, for North Brunswick. Give is to Jackson. He gets just enough. He's a talented runner, you can tell.
Yeah, just that first run, I was very impressed. Hit the hole quickly, bounce it outside, and looks like he has that second gear that, you just can't teach.
Well, if East Brunswick has the advantage on the line, which it appears to have, Jackson's the type of back that can compensate and get the yards when maybe his line's not necessarily winning the battle.
Yeah, and the thing with that, too, is, one big play. He's a big play type of guy. You could be really doing well, and then all of a sudden, one big run, so.
Flag thrown. Looks like a motion penalty. North Brunswick player jumped. Legal procedure is the call. 6:29 left to go in the first period of play. East Brunswick out to a 6-0 lead. They drove the length of the field. Actually, they started from their own 38 and scored a touchdown. Danny Fessel caught a pass, the first one and only one of the game for East Brunswick. 7-yarder from Matt Mariano, and it's 6-0 East Brunswick. All right, 1st and 15 for North Brunswick. Park. There's Jackson with some room. Oop, they're going to call a penalty. Looks like Mariano, who was playing defensive back, was clipped on that play.
Yeah, number 5, Claudio on North Brunswick got him there. One thing that's really going to be important for East Brunswick right there, and Greg Byrne there on the DN there, he's got to make sure to contain on the outside there. You can't let these guys get to the outside.
For Richie, that might be what North Brunswick resorts to eventually, and then that'll spread the field somewhat. You can see that North Brunswick has weapons that can create problems for teams.
Definitely.
Keep in mind that Saraville pitched a shutout last week, 22-0 against this team. So that is a mark off of about 10 yards from the spot of the foul. They'll just probably call it a holding penalty. And that'll push North Brunswick back. Looks to me like about a 1st and 22. Pat Brown, the quarterback for the Raiders, pitch to Jackson. Cuts to the outside. And they strung him out that time.
Yeah, the one thing that's always tough too when you play a talented back like North Brunswick has is, especially in the beginning, just to get used to the angles that you have to take for how quick and how much speed he has. You just can't. It's tough to mimic that in practice, or if you haven't faced the back like that, you're taking angles that you normally take, but you can't get away with that with the back with his kind of speed.
We'll call that a gain of about 4 on the play, so let's make it 2nd and about 18. Brown passing. Gathered in by number 3, Scott. So North Brunswick gets back a portion of the yardage. Gain is up to the 38-yard line. Actually, that was the first pass for North Brunswick. So it's a 3rd and 5. Remember, this was 1st and 20-something yards. And North Brunswick with a realistic shot of converting this 3rd down, 3rd and 5. Jackson with it. Nope. Is that number 9? Ball loose. Still loose. Well, even if North Brunswick recovers, they're not going to convert on the 1st down. It's going to be a loss.
Yeah, there's a couple people from East Brunswick. I think John Park there really did a nice job against some penetration. And they say North Brunswick's ball here.
Right. Oh, there goes a flag. Somebody said something. And that was Jackson with the ball, right?
Yes.
Okay. I thought for a moment it was number 9, but it was Jackson. All right, let's see what happens here. This flag.
Well, they against East Brunswick here.
Is it?
Yes.
For what?
I believe they called a personal foul there.
Oh, boy, that's the type of foul that drives Marcus Borden, the head coach, nuts. East Brunswick had a 4th down situation, was going to force North Brunswick to punt, and then probably because of something what one of the players said, 1st down North Brunswick, and now it's in East Brunswick territory. Ooh, that's a tough one.
And coach was trying to get McCloskey in for somebody's.
All right, North Brunswick moving the ball. Brown tosses it out to the flat, a little long. That was intended for Claudio.
Tell you, that's a tough pass right there. That's actually some decent arm strength to get the ball out that far.
Yes. Incompleted pass makes it 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. 4:50 left to go. Quarter 1, East Brunswick on top, 6-0.
See if this penalty comes back to haunt East Brunswick. You hate to give any team you're playing momentum.
All right, you got 2 split to the bottom of the screen. Now you got your number 5, Claudio, in motion. Give up the middle. Nice run. Jackson on the carry. He's accumulating some yards.
If I'm North Brunswick coach, I make sure he touches the ball at least 75 to 80%, if not more.
So we're going to call it 3rd and 4 for North Brunswick. Ball on the East Brunswick 43-yard line. Brown rolling out, tosses it downfield, and I don't know if that was tipped by Fessel, but
I don't think it was. I think Justin Springer there just took his eyes off the ball a little bit. I don't know if he thought someone was there, but that was a perfectly thrown ball to him there.
The incompleted pass now makes it 4th and 4. North Brunswick will be punting, and deep for East Brunswick.
Looks like Jimmy McCloskey there.
Yes, it is. It is McCloskey. Quick punt, line drive, lets it bounce. McCloskey now gets out of the way, and that ball is going to be down inside the 10-yard line on about the 8. So a good punt for North Brunswick forces East Brunswick back deep in their own territory.
No, that was a line drive there. Jimmy's got to try to run up and catch that ball. Easy saying it up here. Well, North Brunswick's going to see if they can hold the field position here and get the ball back in good position.
First down for the Bears on their 7 or 8 yard line. Nope, Mariano with it, and this time they have him. That was a good tackle by Springer. Still a gain of 3 yards on the play, making it 2nd and 7.
It'll be interesting to see how North Brunswick adjusts this series now that they've seen kind of what East Brunswick has thrown at them. If they, maybe have their assignments down better a little bit and, don't go for that fake with Mariano. It looked like they were, setting their positions there a little bit better.
Pitch is outside to Ayala, and good penetration this time by North Brunswick. That was a tackle clearly by number 76, Ian Ritter. Lots of underclassmen on this North Brunswick team.
Yeah,
Ritter
it looks
Jr.
good for the future for them. Good pursuit there, too, by the defense.
That was a gain of about 2, so we'll call it 3rd and 5. Just about 3 minutes to go. Actually, the clock stops with 3:12 left to go in the first quarter of play. East Brunswick with a 6-0 lead. Give is up the middle, and breaking tackles is Park, showing just exactly what a tough-nosed runner he is.
Just put his head down and got a chunk of yards there.
And that was an important first down because, A, it gets East Brunswick out of its deep in its territory. It gives them a first down on the 24-yard line. That was a good call.
Yeah.
Wasn't expected. I think North Brunswick was thinking Mariano on a keeper, perhaps. With it is Zelak. Runs into the tackler, Claudio, but still gets yardage close to another first down.
Nice thing about the Bears offense, too, is a lot of options that the Bears have is determined by Matt Mariano seeing where the defense is and whether to give or take it himself. So that's, tough on the defense because Mariano just looks to see where people are, and he's doing a really good job of determining who to give it to or to keep it himself.
They're going to measure this. See if this is first down for East Brunswick. And just about a half yard, perhaps a foot short. So the Bears will be facing a 2nd and short. Ball's on the 34-yard line, 33-yard line.
I would say this would normally be a good shot to maybe try a deep pass here, but the way East Brunswick is moving the ball, don't even think you want to fool around with that. But a lot of times you see teams with the 2nd and that short just take a shot down the field and, they have 3rd and, a football or whatever it is there.
Hey, Richie, we've been informed that the head official, Ken Totten, or one of the officials, is mic'd up. So if we have the opportunity, we'll listen in and see if we can get the call, if there is a penalty. All right, a 2nd and short for East Brunswick. And up the middle. However, I don't know. I think there was a loss on that play.
I'm not sure. I know there was some good penetration, but I think maybe there was a slip or something there.
Okay.
Because you just saw him go down immediately.
Okay, a slight loss makes it still 3rd and 1 for East Brunswick. They could use this first down to further get them out of deeper than their own territory. Mariano keeps it. He's got room to the outside. They close in, but he still gets yardage. And a nice run by the quarterback, Matt Mariano, gives East Brunswick yet another first down.
Tell you, key block there also by number 22, Nick Zelak. Guy from North Brunswick had a shot at Mariano, and he was just able to get a piece of him to let him get to the outside there.
So East Brunswick putting up the yards as far as first downs are concerned.
They're doing what they want. I mean, they're eating up clock. They have a 6-0 lead. North Brunswick's defense has been on the field for a long time this first quarter, and it looks like it's going to stay that way.
Give is up the middle to Park. He shrugs off one tackle.
Saw there, North Brunswick was pointing at the refs. I think Park got away with moving before the snap there, but the refs didn't see that.
So a gain of about 3.5 to 4 yards on the play, making it 2nd and 7, we'll call it. Mariano looks like he's going to throw it. Short pass caught by Ayala. Good for another first down.
Nice catch there. He kind of had to reach back to get it, and was able to catch it and get some yards for a first down.
East Brunswick in North Brunswick territory once more. Under a minute to play, 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play. They have a 6-0 lead, does East Brunswick, and they're driving down the field once more. Mariano gives up the middle, short yardage on that play, and that's probably going to do it for this first quarter of play. Park on the carry, gets maybe 2 yards. And that's the end of the first quarter with East Brunswick leading 6-0. And Richie, not too many possessions. East Brunswick, this is only their second possession. We're already into the second quarter now. North Brunswick had the ball once. They had a decent drive. Good running back there, Aaron Jackson, and quarterback. They have some speed. This could be an interesting game.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the games I've seen with East Brunswick, they've really done a nice job of not turning the ball over either. I think a turnover here or there could really, turn the game around for either team. And right now, East Brunswick is doing, I'm sure, exactly what Coach Boren wanted them to. They, scored on their first drive. Their defense got to stop to get the ball back, and they're chewing up some clock and just going behind that offensive line and able to pick up first down after first down. So. Got to be very happy. I'm sure he's not happy about the mixed extra point that is up there. But you know what? North Brunswick is a dangerous team. When you have a back like North Brunswick has, you're only one play away from taking the lead here. So East Brunswick's got to be careful and make sure that they continue to do what they do and secure that football.
Right, and you make a good point about turnovers or lack of them. East Brunswick, when you continually run the ball, as East Brunswick has, you always take that risk of fumbling. But give credit to the East Brunswick offense. I want to also mention it's 2 other offensive players on the line. Dan Lax and number 69, also Raphael Denise, have really looked outstanding tonight. So it's a 2nd and 8 for East Brunswick. As we begin the second quarter of play, the pitch to the left. That Zelak tries to turn the corner, is met, and after a short gain of, say, 2 yards, it's going to be a 3rd and 6 for the Bears.
The thing I like about East Brunswick tonight, too, although they've only passed the ball 2 times, just having that option there, North Brunswick has to think about that a little bit. So, when you're able to, throw that touchdown pass and have that other pass that they had for a first down, you keep the defense off balance a little bit here. So
third down for the Bears. Mariano, in these types of situations, has rolled out with either an option to pass or keeps it himself. And gives up the middle. This time, Park struggles almost to the first down marker.
Good effort there, and that's going to be close.
And I think North Brunswick was thinking the same thing that I was, and that Mariano was going to come out, yet he, gave the ball to Park, and probably is going to be maybe...
I'd say he's a little bit short, maybe about not even a half a football short.
Well, they're going to measure.
For the viewers out there, it's, when he goes down at where the football is, and they gave him a fair spot there. What do you think, Jimmy? They're on about the 34 here. They don't have it. You go for it?
Oh, gosh, yes. Yeah. The way East Brunswick has been moving the ball with positive yardage, even when they're bottled up, they seem to have at least something.
Right.
I think maybe once they were caught behind the line of scrimmage. And so it's going to be a 4th and 1. Yeah. Definitely go for it if I know Marcus Borden.
Yeah.
Play's already been called for East Brunswick, so they know what they want to do. 11:05 to go in the second quarter of play. East Brunswick scored the first time and had the ball for a 6-0 lead. Missed the extra point, so here we are.
Well, I've got to be thinking this is either Mariano himself or to Park.
Yeah, I think Park maybe. He's the one that seems to get the tough yardage even after he's tackled. Quarterback sneak. And a first down for East Brunswick if they mark it the right way. Yep.
They'd have to be way off not to get a first down there.
So East Brunswick continues the march down the field.
Tell you, I wish we had the stats here, but I would say that's maybe the 4th or 5th third down East Brunswick's had that they've converted on all of them. None that short, but that's what you need to do.
Mariano looks very confident as well. He's going to throw it down the field, getting open a little beyond the hands of number 46. That was Dave Dalton. Well, if nothing else, keeps him honest, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I like that call also, where where you're at on the football field, and also 1st and 10. Expecting to run. And you know what? That just missed. They almost had a big play there.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Bears. They're on the 33-yard line of North Brunswick. Mariano pitches to the backfield to Ayala. Gets around his man. And a good chunk of change there. Nothing fancy. It almost seemed as though the North Brunswick player was sort of trapped between committing himself to Mariano, and then when he did, that was all Ayala needed to get around the corner.
I'm very impressed also with the East Brunswick receivers. They're doing a good job down the field, getting their helmet on people and helping out with the blocking.
All right, we missed the flag here, so don't know what the penalty is about. Take a look at it.
Yeah, I think from where they had the yardage, I think it was a holding there.
Yeah, Kenny Totten, the head official, says as much. So that gain is negated and makes it a 2nd and 16 for East Brunswick. Mariano, did he lose the handle?
Yeah, I think the football came loose. He fell right on it, though.
Yeah, he was hit just as he was trying to make the handoff, and that caused the fumble, but he got on it quick enough. Still a loss on the play. Making it 3rd and 17. Well, you have to think that East Brunswick is in a passing situation here, but no guarantees.
Yeah, you don't know how Coach Bourne wants to play it here. I mean, he could go conservative and, just keep it on the ground and try to maybe punt the ball away.
All right.
We'll see.
Dalton on the bottom of your screen, the lone receiver. There's a pass underneath to Ayala, a little long. Second time that Mariano's been long on the pass. So that probably is going to bring up a kicking situation for the Bears. Fourth and about 16, 17 yards to go. 9:20 remaining in the second quarter of play. East Brunswick with a 6-0 lead. And we have some Jackson and Scott deep for the Bears. And Denise will do the punting.
Got to be careful here when Jackson gets a ball.
Denise, kind of a line drive kick going to the corner. And does it get into the end zone? Let's see. Yes. Well, the official.
Well, the way he's
walking very slowly. I guess from the side of the.
Now
yes,
here we see
yes.
the signal.
Okay.
Touchback. I'd like the thinking though by East Brunswick there, just punting away, even though it trickled in the end zone there. You don't want to, even take the chance of letting Jackson have a return at it.
So it's up to the East Brunswick defense once more to see what it can do to shut down North Brunswick. They've been successful in the one opportunity that the Raiders have had the ball. See if North Brunswick does anything different. 1st and 10 for the Raiders on their 20. Give is up the middle, and met is Jackson after a short gain, say about 2 or 3 on the play. Actually, we're going to give him 4 yards on that play. There's the give, pitch outside.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, what do they got here? Well, that was Jackson with the ball, and he really didn't get any positive yardage. If it's an illegal procedure, East Brunswick has the option of refusing this, do they not?
Yep.
And they might just do that.
And Coach Borden just said decline it. Mariano hobbling off here, and we'll have to keep an eye on him.
Who is that?
Matt Mariano
Oh,
just fell off on the sideline here. I think it might be an ankle.
It's the risk you take if you're starting quarterback playing defense. Matt is quick, and I think that Borden feels that with Jackson out there, they need that quickness on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, you get your best players out there. I know it's your quarterback, but you got to get your best players out there.
So with that refusal by East Brunswick on the penalty, makes it 3rd down and 6. We'll keep an eye on Mariano on the sidelines. Give up the middle, quarterback slipped. Brown, and a loss on that play. Park in on the tackle. Bring up a 4th down.
I know you want to keep the Bears honest if you're North Brunswick, but, whenever I had the chance, I'd give that ball to number 8, Aaron Jackson.
And look who walks out onto the field, but Matt Mariano as the middle back.
So much for...
yeah.
Well, he's a tough kid.
Zelak and Ayala. Excuse me, McCluskey and Ayala, the deep backs for East Brunswick. Punt. Took his time on it. McCluskey decides to field it, Richie.
Yep, nice job by
Jim.
That was got nice a wall move here.
One player, and that was Derek Scott. So there's the benefit of catching the ball in midair.
Exactly. Has some momentum there, and nice return. Good job by the Bears special teams.
And they're right back knocking on the door in North Brunswick territory. $7:15 left to go in the second quarter of play. We've only had one score, and that was East Brunswick's initial drive, going about 58 yards, I think it was. Mariano seems to have shaken off that ankle. Good pass to Fessel down the middle. Breaks one tackle, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown by East Brunswick. Richie, did you see the way Mariano set that up? He looked one way,
right,
and probably froze the North Brunswick defensive secondary.
And opened up the middle there, exactly.
Middle for Fessel. Fessel took it in for the touchdown. A beautiful play. So that's Danny Fessel's second touchdown of the evening, making the score 12-0. East Brunswick, let's see if they go for two.
I would think they would here.
Paul, how many yards on that pass? Was it 22 yards? I can't remember where the ball was.
Yeah, I was thinking it was on the 27.
Okay, fine. 27-yard pass reception, touchdown. Pass coming at 7:09 left to go in the second quarter. Here we go with the two-point try. Mariano keeps it, reverses his field, tackled in the backfield, so the extra point is no good. So East Brunswick gets into double digits, 12-0, with 7:09 left to go in the second quarter of play. Funny, Richie, that East Brunswick's been running, yet the two scores have come on passes.
Hey, that's the balance that East Brunswick needs to, do some damage this year in the GMC Red Division. And we were kind of talking about this before we were on camera about, you want to start thinking about, if you're East Brunswick and the other teams, the power points also in, the playoffs. So.
All right, you hear the cheerleaders as they move through their routine. You wonder how many times we're going to hear this tonight. Excuse me.
Give credit also on that score to East Brunswick special teams. Jimmy McCloskey doing a nice job of feeling the ball and getting a big chunk of yards, and East Brunswick was able to capitalize.
Was a big play.
I think this is really a big defensive possession for East Brunswick, just to really, have a 12-0 lead going into halftime.
Quagliari kicking off. Again, another line drive boot, actually a grounder, picked up and fallen down on the ground. Well, number 14 for North Brunswick did not care to have any part. DeAnthony Jones, he didn't really want to do anything with the ball. So North Brunswick will take the safe play and start their offense on the 33-yard line. Is Mariano in the game, or are they going to rest him on defense now?
Looks like McCloskey's in on one corner, and then I see Stauffer's down on this end. So
okay. So Matt is taking a rest. Here we go. Gives to Jackson, slips. See, that turf's a little bit slippery. We've seen that more than once tonight.
It happened a couple times.
Yeah. So even with that slip, it was a gain of 2 yards on the play. He could have gotten a lot more. 2nd and 8 for the Raiders. Ball on their own 35. Pitch to Jackson. Gets around one tackler. This time, however, good penetration by McCluskey.
Great
good
play.
Ankle tackle. So that's a loss. And those are the types of plays that can really change things. When you have positive yardage, all of a sudden you turn it into a negative play.
Right.
You lose the down, and now you're faced with 3rd and 10. So the East Brunswick secondary making some big plays. North Brunswick with 2 split below the screen. Looks like a passing situation. Brown passes it out to the flat. East Brunswick, however, looks ready. Do they have him? Yes, they do. Terrific defensive presence by that defense. And North Brunswick will be forced to kick. That play was designed to get Scott in the open field to get some running room, but East Brunswick closed right in on him.
Yeah, did a nice job.
All right, we have a timeout on the field for, I think they're checking
Taking officials
McCluskey.
timeout here.
McCluskey has
some type of
equipment
right.
malfunction. I believe
blood.
He has to be substituted.
Yeah, it's blood. I can see
oh,
it
that's
up
what
here.
It is. Okay. So who takes his place?
Phil Hassler there, tending to him.
Alrighty. Looks like Armand Lemming will come in. So you got Ayala and Zelak deep. It's a high kick. And caught and hit. And they're going to call a flag. Can't touch that receiver, gentlemen.
Nope.
And East Brunswick's going to be the beneficiary here of, I think, a 15-yard personal foul. Ayala did a nice job of gathering that punt in a lot of players around him.
Right. As we see on the screen here, the ref's talking about it. Now they're going to walk it off.
It's going to be 15 yards.
Yeah, this is critical time now for North Brunswick. I mean, they haven't played, they played a tough first half here, and they're looking at a 12-0 deficit. They don't want to go into halftime. You know, they still have a shot in the second half if they can keep it 12-0. East Brunswick gets another score, then it's going to be, really difficult for them to stay in this game.
Ball on the North Brunswick 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bears with 4:50 to go in the second quarter, excuse me. Good hard run. That was Nicky Zelak. Gets positive yardage, about 4.5 yards on that play, making it 2nd down. Another thing you need to think about is I don't see that many substitutions for North Brunswick. I wonder if they might be worn out.
And especially that defense. They've been on the field a long time this first half.
Mariano gives up the middle. Park. Boy, he knows how to break tackles, doesn't he?
I mean, just from him running forward, he's going to get, 2 yards just by falling down because his momentum's always going forward. So
close to a 1st down. They may measure. Let's see. Nope, they're going to call it 3rd down. 3rd and probably about a half yard to go. Clock continues to run down to 3:45 left to go in the second quarter. East Brunswick with a 12-0 lead. Mariano gives to McCluskey, but he's caught in the backfield. If there's been a defensive standout for the Raiders, it's been number 15, Justin Springer, that one of the captains. He seems to have the presence to
nose for the ball there.
Yeah, to go after the ball. So a loss of that play, instead of a 2nd and 1, now makes it, a 3rd and 1, now makes it 4th and 4, and a likely punting situation for the Bears. So that's a big play.
That is a huge play for North Brunswick. Just what they needed.
Jackson and Scott, deep backs for North Brunswick. As Richie reminded us, you don't want to put the ball in the hands of Jackson with room. Denise punts the ball to the left side, obviously away from Jackson. And it's, all in all, a rather nice kick. Well, where are they going to mark it? Right at about the 14-yard line.
Hey, any kick that, you don't give him a chance to return the ball is a good kick in my book. And East Brunswick coaching staff, doing a nice job of scouting the team and knowing to keep the ball away from him.
So with 2:45 left to go in the second quarter, East Brunswick, I don't believe they've used a timeout. So if they can keep North Brunswick bottled up here, they can still get the ball with time left.
Exactly, good point.
Pass, fake pass, and now they got him in the backfield. Danny Fessel with that tackle.
Tell you, he's having a nice all-around game here. 2 touchdowns and a nice play right there. Well, interesting to see what East Brunswick does here.
Loss on the play, back to the 13-yard line.
You can see Coach Borden kind of talking to the other coaches, and I think after this play, if they stop him, I think we'll definitely see a timeout like you said, Jimmy.
2nd and 12, we will call it. 2:10 left to go in the quarter. East Brunswick trying to penetrate. Now they got him caught. Beautiful play.
And the timeout signal from the East Brunswick bench.
That was Mike Franchino in the backfield and caught Pat Brown, who comes up a little giddy. Richie says they called a timeout, so you look like, well, it's going to be a 3rd down. So North Brunswick will have one more play to get off, and then they're going to be forced to kick it if they don't get the 1st down. So, Rich, let's see. North Brunswick on their own 4-yard line, let's call it. You throw it up in the air here?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you're just, if you had a little bit more room, I might say maybe try reverse or something like that. But when you're this deep in your territory, I kind of, take your medicine, make sure you hold on to the ball, punt it away, and hope your defense can get a stop.
Not only that, but a throw on the ball and it goes incomplete, saves a timeout for East Brunswick. So
right.
Probably another reason why they're going to keep it on the ground.
Yeah.
So North Brunswick facing 3rd, and I'm going to say 20. Ball inside their 5-yard line. And on the far side is the North Brunswick cheerleaders, and we understand that one of our producers, Dave Ambrosi, has a daughter, Colleen, on the team. All right, here's the punt. Oh, excuse me, 3rd down. I'll take that back. Patrick Brown at quarterback for North Brunswick. Jackson, the lone back. Give this to him. Cuts up field and gets about 5 yards. East Brunswick immediately calls timeout. Clock down to 1:43. So the Bears are going to get another opportunity here. Should get the ball in decent field position. We see Marcus Borden, head coach for East Brunswick.
You look at 2 ways here. You say maybe East Brunswick might go after the punter here since it's deep, but after that good return last time, maybe East Brunswick just sets up for the return and tries to get a big one there. But North Brunswick here, just wants to get the punt off and, let their defense have a shot to keep East Brunswick out of the end zone here.
All right, the punting situation. That will be Scott deep in his end zone. You got McCluskey as a lone back on his 35. Okay, that's confidence. And it looks like some confusion on the play. Looks like they're going to call a timeout. Apparently they were missing a player. There's the culprit.
Tell you, number 12, Anthony Genovese, that's a nice job by him on North Brunswick, because this is not the situation where you want to make a mistake. You rather burn a timeout, make sure you have all your players. This is a big spot for North Brunswick here. So that's just a heady play right there, knowing that someone was missing by number 12 there on North Brunswick.
And you said that right, because I know the family very personally, and Anthony is a smart guy. So they're going to set it up one more time. I am surprised that McCluskey is the lone back, but that may tell you that East Brunswick is going for the block. Let's see what happens. It's going to be a real quick kick here. Here they come. Just skid it off. Line drive, and actually a beautiful punt. Look at that ball bounce all the way over past midfield. So East Brunswick took a chance, and they have 1:32 to go. Ball's on their own 48-yard line. That was a nice job by North Brunswick.
Yeah, really nice job by them. I was going to say if they got it anywhere near the 50, that was a great job, and they got it actually all the way back over the 50. So
1:31 says the clock, with time winding down here in the second quarter. East Brunswick one last shot. I believe they have a timeout left.
Yeah, I think they have one left.
Yeah.
They burned 2 there, and I don't think they took one earlier. So
they lead 12-0. Both touchdowns coming on pass receptions from Matt Mariano, the quarterback, to Danny Fessel. Mariano's going to pump it up. Open it is Zelak, and he gets a nice bit of yard.
all right.
Down to the 30, 35, I think. Maybe inside the 35.
Looked like a little wheel router there or something, and no one covered the back.
Clock stops with 1:21 as they set up the first down markers. East Brunswick, it looks like they're going to go to the huddle. And here they come. Mariano rolls to his right, looks downfield. Oh, Ayala was open. East Brunswick with a lot of opportunities with open receivers tonight.
Just need a little bit more touch on that ball. Kind of, really zipped it in when, didn't need to there. But you're like you said, there's been some receivers that have been able to get open, so that's a good sign for East Brunswick.
So with the 2nd and 10, East Brunswick with 1:08 left to go in the second quarter. They bring Ayala and Dalton to the near side. Zelak looks like he's going to be going out of the backfield as well. And a little miscommunication between the center and quarterback. I think East Brunswick caused East Brunswick to jump early. And that's the call. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. Second and 15 for the Bears. Okay, same play call. You got Dalton and Ayala to the near side. Zelak is the split back. Straight back. Mariano looks downfield. Still scrambling. Sees somebody open. However, that was a dangerous pass.
Second time Stringers, had a shot at the ball. One for a big gain or a touchdown maybe on offense, and that one on defense. He had some room ahead of him too. They always tell you as a quarterback, you got to be careful throwing that ball across your body. Takes a while to get there, and
defense
that
reacted.
was dangerous. Yeah, I was just about to say before that if you're East Brunswick, you want to look for a score here, but you got to be careful not to give North Brunswick a big play to cut the lead possibly to 5 before the half.
So with that incomplete pass, it makes it 3rd and 15 for the Bears. Ball on about the 38-yard line. Now Mariano's going to keep it himself. Gets sandwiched. And you wonder if East Brunswick now is just going to take the conservative route and let the clock run down. Gets about 5 on the play, makes it 4th and 10. And the clock says 37 seconds. What does East Brunswick do?
I don't know, maybe take a delay game penalty and heave one up. I'm trying to think when the clock, what the play clock's going to be at.
Yeah, here we
Depending on how much time's left here.
They're going to go for it. Meanwhile, clock's down to 10 seconds. Mariano drops back deep. Lofts. Nope.
Oh.
Thought he was going to throw it long. Short pass. And they call it incomplete. So that's where the drive comes to an end with 4 seconds left on the clock. And East Brunswick with a 12-0 lead. Well, they almost used the entire clock up, Richard.
Right. Got to be careful here. I was watching the USC Stanford game the other day, and Stanford had I think it was about the same time, about 4 seconds left on their own 18, and just handed off to their back kind of just to end the half, and he ran for an 82-yard touchdown. Ended up losing that game, but, let's see what North Brunswick does here.
East Brunswick player a little late getting on the field. And it's a straight handoff play, which is going to go for very little yardage, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. East Brunswick with a 12-0 lead, and with a couple of more opportunities, as you mentioned, Richie, they could have scored one more time. They've pretty much bottled up North Brunswick's offense, featuring Aaron Jackson. All in all, pretty good first half for the Bears.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I really think that first score that they got really set the tone, getting off to that early 6-0 lead. And like you said, North Brunswick maybe had one drive where they moved the ball pretty well, but for the most part, East Brunswick's defense has been doing a really nice job. And, East Brunswick was able to put one more score to kind of widen that gap there. And that's important also because with North Brunswick, you never know, a touchdown, when you're only up 6-0, you have the lead, so that little cushion also helps East Brunswick. So all in all, nice job by East Brunswick in that first half.
But as you had mentioned, North Brunswick with the with the explosiveness to score quick, a 12-0 lead at halftime is certainly not a time for East Brunswick to relax. All right, so we're at halftime here at J. Doyle Field. East Brunswick with a 12-0 lead. We will take a break and we'll be back with the second half right after this. Alrighty, we are back from a vigorous halftime where the East Brunswick band entertained the crowd. Very appreciative crowd, I might add, as the Bears with a 12-0 lead over North Brunswick at halftime. This is Jimmy Allinder with Richie Whalen as we bring you the action of tonight's contest here at a rather crowded stadium, Richie, and being entertained with a very competitive game here so far.
Yes, they are. I also wanted to just take a time. I told we're looking at the Bears on the sideline here stretching out, but also the East Brunswick cheerleaders.
Oh yeah, the
doing
cheerleaders.
A great job, and I have their names here. So the captains of the team are Nicole Galucci and Leyland Chin are the captains. There's also Marissa Botwinick, Lindsay Malchik, Gina Raspa, Nicole Vitanzi, Sierra Abloff, Debbie Edison, Lara Greenberg, Amanda Miller, Rachel Sachs, Gina Scholes, Kathleen Wastuba, Lindsay Young, Lindsay Katz, and Alyssa Tachi. And as I said before, they're coached by Coach Michelle Sperduto. So they're doing a nice job as always.
Number of familiar names in there, to me anyway.
Right.
Know the families very well. All right, the captains are out discussing the options. You remember East Brunswick deferred, so they should, if they choose to, receive the ball to begin the second half. North Brunswick will elect to defend the goal to our left on your screen. However, looks like they're receiving. I don't understand. Well, whatever. Looks like East Brunswick's going to be kicking off from our right to your left. Just to recap the scoring, East Brunswick took the opening kickoff and drove the length of the field, beginning the drive on their own 38 and on a Matt Mariano to Danny Fessel pass covering just 7 yards. It was the first pass of the game for East Brunswick. They had run the ball the entire length of the field. Anyway, they scored with 7:34 left to go in the first quarter. The extra point was missed, and it was 6-0. Then the ball was exchanged by both teams with somewhat long drives, and then midway through the second quarter, the Bears were able to penetrate further down to East Brunswick. We might add that there was a key punt that was fielded by McCluskey,
right,
who ran it down to the 27-yard line, and then on the first play from scrimmage, Mariano connected with Fessel right across the middle for a touchdown. The extra point again, the two-point try was missed and became 12-0. That with 7:09 left to go in the quarter, and that's where we stand at halftime. So we're about ready to begin the second half. East Brunswick will be kicking off. This is Quagliari. You got to watch Aaron Jackson, as we know. So the grounder goes bouncing, and the ball is still open, and let's see who recovers. East Brunswick has it. The indecision by North Brunswick was capitalized. It looks like McCluskey was on that.
Yeah, McCluskey got it. We got a good shot of Jimmy there running off, and he's been doing a good job tonight. He's been playing a little bit more at cornerback with Mariano, who was out for a little bit, had that nice punt return, and he gets a fumble there. So not what North Brunswick wanted to do to start off the second half.
So the Bears will take over on the North Brunswick 25-yard line. And this is Matt Mariano calling signals, gives the ball up the middle. Good running room by cuts to the outside, gets the ball all the way down to about the 10-yard line. Nice run there.
I'll tell you what, too, that to start off the second half that way, that almost takes the heart out of you if you're North Brunswick. You know, you go into halftime, you're down 12-0, you talk about getting off to a good start, and that's just about the worst thing that can happen. So let's see if they can, you know, get a little fight and maybe hold East Brunswick here, but doesn't look good for North Brunswick right now.
Well, if you're an East Brunswick fan, you got to be very, very encouraged by these opening sequences here. East Brunswick with a 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. There's a give up to Ayala one more time, and he's into the end zone, steps in, bang, 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 and just like that, East Brunswick has its 3rd touchdown. Score coming with 11:26 to go. And Richie, as you mentioned, that is disheartening for North Brunswick.
I'll tell you, it's tough, and there you go. When you put the ball on the ground, you know, bad things happen. East Brunswick, give credit to them. 2 plays and you know, little resistance there for North Brunswick, and you just wonder if that's you know, going to be it from North Brunswick here tonight.
Well, too much time on the clock to even think that they would want to give up, but
well,
you're right.
Not saying give up, but that just, you know, demoralizes your team there to start the second half that way.
All right, East Brunswick's going to try the traditional extra point. Mariano is the kicker. Park going to hold. This time a good snap and puts it through. So the score with pretty much the entire second half yet to go. East Brunswick with a nice 19-0 cushion. And Richie down by 3 touchdowns or 19 points. Does East Brunswick change anything? Excuse me, North Brunswick change anything in terms of their approach to offense?
I just feel that, you know, they begin the ball to number 8, Aaron Jackson, but I just feel, you know, you got to give him the ball as many touches as you can, and you just hope for a big play. I mean, you know, I wouldn't necessarily change anything they're doing, but I'd like to see him, if I were North Brunswick, you know, maybe get him in a couple more situations, maybe a reverse, maybe, you know, get him in the flat where you can, you know, try to create something. But, you know, I don't know if they're capable of, you know, doing something other than what they've been doing here tonight against East Brunswick here. You don't want to get too cute.
Hey, I'll tell you what, we only have half the game gone so far, but I'll tell you what, there's one player in East Brunswick that I would tip my hat to and give the MVP so far. Who do you think it is?
Matt Mariano?
Nope, I'll take Mike McCluskey.
Okay.
He's been in on a lot of key things. There's the bounding ball. This is to Scott. Gets through some tackling and then is hammered. Brought down by Park and number 81 for East Brunswick. Stoffers. You got to pardon me for I'm saying East Brunswick, North Brunswick. But maybe we just better stick to Bears and Raiders tonight. So North Brunswick will have their first possession of the second half. Yeah, Jimmy McCluskey has really come in with that key reception on the punt, which set up East Brunswick's touchdown. He's recovered the fumble.
A couple nice plays in the backfield. Yeah, playing with a lot of energy.
He really is, and he's out there now in the secondary. First down for North Brunswick. Ball is to Jackson and bounces off one tackle, but wrestled down. Some nice tackling by East Brunswick. I don't think he got too much on that play.
Yeah, Stoffers had some nice penetration there, and then Franchino and a couple other Bears were there to corral him. Good containment there.
Gain of, say, 2 on the play, making it 2nd and 8 for North Brunswick. 10:50 left to go in the third quarter of play. Bears with a 19-0 lead. That quarterback is Brown. He's been there all the way. Pitch to, looks like a reverse. And East Brunswick has him. Who was that? Fagan on that? You see him fight that block off, Rich?
Did a great job. And I've been waiting for something like that from North Brunswick, but East Brunswick was not fooled one bit. Good job of containing there. They ain't over pursue on the weak side there, and you know, North Brunswick is just trying to find something that works here against this East Brunswick defense.
Yeah, a loss of about 5, so that makes it 2nd and 13.
Yeah,
third and
actually,
13.
right.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, let's see what North Brunswick pulls out of its hat this time. Patrick Brown. Looks like he wants to pass, but he slips on that field, and that disturbed everything. Enough for Danny Lax to get in there and make the tackle.
think that might have been Greg Byrne there, number
Was it?
53, yeah.
Okay, I thought that was Lax, number 63. But, okay, Greg Byrne, you're right. Hey, that entire defensive line has been putting pressure on North Brunswick the evening.
Right, a lot of times, you know, someone else gets a sack, but it's caused by a lot of other things, like you said there, Jimmy.
Scott will do the punting for North Brunswick. McCluskey and Ayala deep backs for East Brunswick. High snap, but Brown gets it off.
Mariano better watch out.
Boy, I think he heard the wind. That ball whistled by him. Said, I better get out of there. Or maybe his teammates were yelling at him.
Yeah, no, what's tough with the position that he's in, he's got his back to the ball, so he needs to get some communication by his teammates because he's looking to set up a block for the returners there.
All right, East Brunswick will take over on their own 46-yard line. 9 minutes left to go in the third quarter. They are ahead 19-0 and looking for more. Very steady on offense tonight has been East Brunswick. Mariano gives up the middle to Ayala. He dances outside. Drives forward, and he's close to first down yardage.
Tell you one thing that we were talking about, Jimmy, earlier was, you know, we heard some things about East Brunswick with practice, weren't quite sure how they were going to come out tonight, and, you know, right from the get-go, that first drive, they really, you know, did a nice job and put to rest that talk by us of, you know, maybe being a little flat for this game. I think they've, you know, so far, no, there's a lot of time left, but have really come out with a lot of energy on both sides of the ball.
And the reaction by this team is part of that growing experience that you hope will yield benefits further down the road here, because East Brunswick certainly looks like it's shaping up for a run at the playoffs at the very least, even though they lost that game to Piscataway, and they have some tough games ahead, not the least to mention Saraville next week.
Right, and the one thing we were talking about with the first game is that they, you know, they have a lot of seniors back, 22 seniors that are on this team. So, you know, we were commenting in North Brunswick how they have some sophomores and juniors. So, you know, a lot of senior leadership, and you know, that goes a long way also to, you know, having a successful year.
East Brunswick just a bit short. Boy, I'll tell you, they had to even hold the chain to make sure they got it right as they move the ball to the field. We're going to call it a couple inches at most for East Brunswick to get the first down. It's a second down. They are in North Brunswick territory. Ball's on the 43-yard line.
Chain crew's been getting the workout. That's been maybe the third or fourth time they've been on the field already today. So
Matt Mariano looking extremely comfortable at quarterback tonight. Give is to Zelak. He has room.
Jimmy, I think the point that you made earlier about North Brunswick, you know, with the depth is really coming into play here. I know it's still early. You had halftime to rest up, but that defense has been on the field a long time, and as the game wears on and East Brunswick just keeps pounding behind that offensive line, I think we're starting to see that even more and more here, where the holes are getting bigger and, you know, contact isn't made until a few yards, you know, past the line of scrimmage here.
With that first down, East Brunswick has the ball on the North Brunswick 37-yard line. First down. Mariano keeps it. This time they have him in the backfield. And we're going to call that, let's see. Well, I think he sort of skirted the line of scrimmage. Maybe got himself about a half a yard. Call it second down and 9.5 to go. And clock continues to move. Down to 7:40 left to go in the third quarter. East Brunswick 19-0. 2 touchdowns in the first half, and right away as they came out of the gates at 11:26 scored when Danny Ayala, I'm sorry, I didn't mean Danny Ayala. Rob Ayala.
Right.
Scampered 11 yards for a touchdown to make it 19-0. Extra point was good, and that's where we stand. Mariano, second down. Another hit by Stringer. He has been opportunistic tonight.
Yeah, he's played well. He's been on a lot of tackles.
So North Brunswick sort of rises to the occasion.
And you kind of say to yourself, where is that coming from? They maybe had one play behind the line of scrimmage, and right there, East Brunswick's actually going backwards here a little bit.
Loss on the play of about 1, making it third. That we'll call 3rd and 10. East Brunswick in no particular hurry. And here they come. Mariano calling signals for the Bears. He's going to pass it. Over the middle. Open is Ayala. Dekes one tackle. Loses the football. Who comes up with it?
Looks like a big offensive lineman.
It was Danny Fessel, the opportunistic he was. Gathered up the loose ball that Ayala dropped. And out of all of that is a first down for East Brunswick. Ball on the 16-yard line.
Tell you, that middle's been wide open for East Brunswick. That's maybe the 2nd or 3rd time that no one's even been close. Ayala made a nice move there, just lost the ball, and like you said, Danny Fessel was opportunistic to fall on it. So East Brunswick gets a little break here.
6:19 left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. East Brunswick with a 19-0 lead. They have a first down on the 16-yard line of North Brunswick. And the Raiders are reeling. There's the give to Ayala. He's looking real strong going through that hole tonight. Richie, it all has to do with having confidence in your offensive line to know that the hole is going to be there. And I'll tell you what, Ayala is, actually all the running backs are just hitting those holes.
Exactly.
Gain of 4, making it 2nd and 6. Ball just outside the 10-yard line as East Brunswick continues to move. They score here, and it's going to be real difficult for the Raiders to get back in this game. Pitch to the outside. That's Ayala one more time. Dragged by Stringer. Tries to get away and sets himself up for a big hit. Well, I don't think either player wanted to give on that one, huh?
Yeah, no, not at all. I think that was Stringer actually again.
Yes,
just holding on for dear life and just waiting for his buddies to come and help him out.
So a gain on that play, maybe 1 yard. So that'll make it 3rd and 5 for East Brunswick.
This might be a Fessel area.
I was thinking the same thing, Richie. I said, watch Danny Fessel. Nobody's paying particularly too much attention to him. And he's out of the backfield and in the corner. Oh, we had it, didn't we?
If we were defending there, we would have had a pick maybe. But again, like you said, he has 2 touchdowns. He did a nice job of getting a good clean release there. And how many times does he have to burn you until you cover him?
We have the benefit of watching this team on a more frequent basis than North Brunswick. So anyway, that sets up a 4th down, and it looks like Mariano is lining up for a field goal try.
He's walking it off.
Ball is going to be spotted. The kick is going to be from the 18, so this would be a 28-yard field goal, pretty much to the center of the field. And Mariano has already shown that he has the leg to kick it far. Question is, can he put it through the uprights? Snap, hold, puts it up, and puts it through. Didn't have the same authority as if he was kicking an extra point.
Almost kind of like he aimed it there. He just wanted to make sure with the accuracy. But, East Brunswick, obviously it gives them a 22-0 lead here. But also, for future games, too, Coach Warren might now have the confidence if they're in a iffy situation where they're not sure whether to go for it on 4th down or kick the field goal. That gives you some confidence in your kicker and your snapper that you can try that field goal in a close game. So
that field goal of 28 yards by Matt Mariano coming with 4:24. Actually, the clock is running right now. They winded it. I don't know what that happened there, but anyway, we just lost 4 seconds on the clock. 4:17 is the official time of that field goal, I assume. And it's 22-0 East Brunswick. All right, Quagliara has been kicking off, and if you want to call kickoffs, they more have been grounders to keep the ball away from Aaron Jackson.
Exactly.
And we haven't called his number too much in the second half, have we?
No, not at all. I mean, I guess they haven't had the ball yet, have they?
Just once.
Just once.
There's that low kick to the ground, picked up and fallen on. That's number 14, and he's the guy,
he did that before, right?
Jones. Yes, he did.
Either he has instructions from his coach to do that, which I think I'd run with that, but.
Well, DeAnthony Jones stands at 5'9", 145. So maybe discretion is the better part of valor. Especially when you get these horses from East Brunswick coming at him.
True.
I mean, how would you like to have Raphael Denise storming at you?
As long as I had a head start, I.
All right, 22-0 East Brunswick, 4:16 to go in the third quarter of play. This has been Patrick Brown at quarterback.
They're coming after him here.
Yep. Gets away, dodges another tackler, and finally wrapped up by Denise. So Brown was able to avoid one tackle and gets about 5-6 yards on that play. 22-0, East Brunswick. Actually, believe it or not, that was the final score of the game that North Brunswick had last week against Saraville. Right. So East Brunswick has at least, we look for anything to make comparisons, and I know the players and the coaches like to think that way. So, how is East Brunswick going to do against Saraville next week? Well, they've already matched the score against North Brunswick. 2nd and 5. Pitches to Jackson. He gets to the outside. Good speed there. And angles out of bounds. Gets up to about his own 45-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Raiders. You're right, Richie. They haven't had the ball all that much in this quarter. So they're at the point now where they really do have to take advantage of their opportunities.
Yeah, they're not going to have, the way East Brunswick's moving the ball and keeping it on the ground. They can maybe, at most, maybe if it stays this way, have 2 more possessions, 3.
First down for the Raiders at the 45. Give us to Jackson. He's out. He bounces outside. Gets a block there, and a saving tackle by number 81, Stoffers. McCluskey was tied up with his blocker.
Right. I think that he's in 21 there, Rob Ayala there.
Was it Ayala?
Yeah, it was Ayala.
Oh, you're right. Boy, Rob Ayala, who's been doing it all on offense tonight, comes up with a big tackle.
He was gone. And that, East Brunswick now is a 22-0 lead, but, Jackson, he's a touchdown waiting to happen.
So a first down for North Brunswick inside East Brunswick territory. Ball on the 36-yard line. This is Brown calling signals. Here comes East Brunswick. Pass outside to the flat, caught. That was by Scott. He dukes with one tackle and gets another first down for the Raiders.
And that's been open there. Stoffers has been giving him a lot of room there where, get 5 yards with the pass and then the run after the catch, get a first down. So North Brunswick finally having a little success here moving the ball.
Ball is down to the 20, we'll call it the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Give us to Jackson. He bounces to the outside. Again, there's that block. But this time McCluskey fends it off and makes the tackle. That was a nice play.
Did a nice job, went to the outside and, made sure that he couldn't get around him.
Boy, I keep on thinking about Aaron Jackson being a junior. This guy, if he puts a little, little weight on, grows a couple inches, he could be something.
I'll tell you, he's got the speed. He's got that burst that that you just can't teach.
So a loss on the play of 2 yards. That makes it 2nd and 12. 2:18 remaining in the third quarter. East Brunswick with a 22-0 lead. Brown drops back, lofts it into the end zone, and beautiful play by McCluskey to intercept that ball. And it's a touchback.
There's your player of the game there.
Wow.
Jimmy making another nice play.
I mean, the intended receiver, Derek Scott, was at least, I have to say, he's a foot taller than McCluskey. Yet the defensive back had the presence to play his position well, and then he made the interception.
Yep, like you said, he was in perfect position and looked back at just the right time when the receiver's hands went up and made a nice play on the ball.
And there goes McCluskey into the backfield, almost as if he was a reward. So East Brunswick fends off another opportunity by North Brunswick, and Mariano gives the ball up the middle. I believe that was Zelak on the carry. We'll check.
Yep.
Nick Zelak with a nice run of about 4 to 5 yards.
I'll tell you, nice thing about East Brunswick, both offensively and defensively, is they do have a lot of weapons. You know, McCloskey's played well on defense tonight. Byrne, Park. Offensively, you got a lot of running backs. Plus, you know, Jovan Jones, another running back, is injured. So you have Zelak, Ayala, Mariano, McCloskey, Park. You got a lot of weapons here.
Absolutely. Look at that hole. And who else but McCluskey off to the races here. Gets a gain of about 20 yards. I'll tell you what, that kid is not to be denied tonight. He is playing with such, I mean, it's the type of player you want to see. And it's infectious. It gets the rest of the team excited. And you can see East Brunswick's really cranking it into another gear now.
I'll tell you what, also, the nice thing, the one thing we were talking about the first couple games is against Perth Amboy and Edison. They didn't have to throw the ball, but they've shown tonight that they can throw the ball also. So all facets working for East Brunswick here.
Bears with a first down on their 43-yard line. Nothing fancy. To Zelak up the middle. He splits the seam. Drives all the way down to the 35 of North Brunswick. Another first down for the Bears. Boy, they're churning it out now, Richie.
Yeah, they're piling up those yards. Big chunks.
Clock continues to run. We're under a minute to go in the third quarter. The Bears with a 22-0 lead and looking to add more. There's that E-bone backfield. Who gets it this time? Up the middle. Boy, I'll tell you what, every play, this is McCluskey.
Right.
Every play, they're getting past that line of scrimmage. And that tells you that the East Brunswick offensive line is really doing a job.
Yeah, new player in the backfield there at fullback, too. That was number 48, David Ruffner, with the lead block there.
Okay, great. McCluskey gets 8 on the play.
That's going to be it for that third quarter here. They're not
yes,
going to run
it is.
One.
Richie, only a touchdown and a field goal scored by East Brunswick in that quarter. But I want to tell you, that was an impressive 12 minutes of play by that team.
I agree. You know, a lot of energy. You know, did a nice job with the kickoff to get the ball, and they're just picking up chunks of yards now on offense.
Right. So after 3 quarters of play, East Brunswick with a 22-0 lead over, I'm going to say, a not too bad North Brunswick team.
I agree. They have some talent over on that squad. Just while we have the chance now also just to go over, sometimes they don't get the credit they deserve, but the East Brunswick coaching staff, as most people know, Marcus Borden's the head coach, is 22nd season as the head coach. Also, Tony Toto is the defensive coordinator and offensive and defensive lines coach. Keith Lane is the receivers and defensive backs coach. Glenn Pazinko and Matt Pazinko with the lines and offensive backs and linebackers. Andy Steinfeld is the freshman coach. Tom Giordano is the assistant 9th grade coach. Scott
You want me to give it a shot?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kaminkowicz
is the 8th grade coach, and Justin Horlon, who is a former player for East Brunswick, is the 8th grade offensive coordinator. So they're doing a nice job with the Bears here.
All right, East Brunswick sets up shop with a 2nd and 2 on the North Brunswick 27-yard line. Begin the fourth quarter of play, leading 22-0. McCluskey dekes his way forward. I think he's got enough for the first down. If not, I think we're going to have another measurement, Richie.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I'd say he has it from there.
Yes, they give it to him. Okay. So East Brunswick continues to drive.
I'll tell you, the thing with McCloskey, too, he's so low to the ground, it's tough for tacklers to not only get a view of him, but kind of just skirts through those tackles.
Absolutely. Take advantage of what you got, or what you don't have. Another first down for East Brunswick. This has been Mariano at quarterback for East Brunswick. He's done a great job. There's the give up the middle. Zelak pushes forward. The line doing a tremendous job. They see number 52, Stephen Holupka, out there. Gain of 5. Making it 2nd and 5. Ball's on the 20-yard line, or just inside the 20. And you look at North Brunswick's defense, they got their hands on their hips.
Yeah.
Slightly confused, probably very tired.
Yep.
And probably ripe for the pickings as well. Let's watch this. Mariano gives up to McCluskey. He breaks one tackle, and then they gang tackle him just before that first down marker. We'll call it a yard shy of the first down. They need to get to the 15-yard line to get a first down. Meanwhile, the clock continues to run with 10 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the contest. It's been East Brunswick all the way, scoring 3 touchdowns and a field goal. So it's a 22-0 lead. Third down. They plunge the middle. This time I think they got him. Don't know if they're going to be successful on that. That was Zelak on the carry. And that'll probably go for no gain. And East Brunswick has a decision here. Looks like Marcus Borden talking to his quarterback.
Well, they did a quarterback sneak in a situation similar to this earlier in the game, so that's might be what they do here.
Probably right on that. Holupka is the center, is he not?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He's been doing a great job all night. So let's see if they need about a half a yard. And the way they're ganged up, it does look like a quarterback sneak. Oh, did you see that play by Mariano?
Right, he just looked for a little opening there.
Well, and he got it. He got himself a couple extra yards as well. So East Brunswick has a first down inside the 15, say the 13-yard line. Boy, that was a heady play by the quarterback. He didn't go to where the defense was expecting him to go, and he just dekes right around the left side.
He stayed composed there.
Gets the first down. East Brunswick holds on to the ball. Clock continues to run. Mariano slashing is Ayala. Keeps on going, or that's Zelak, excuse me, all the way down to about the 1-yard line. And North Brunswick looks like a beleaguered team at this point.
Yeah, they're going to call timeout here. Oh, no. Thought that's what the refs said, just a first down.
Right, 1st and goal for East Brunswick. They mark it on the 2. And it seems to me that it's a matter of deciding who gets the touchdown on this. McCluskey, of course, gets the call, and he walks into the end zone. You know, I think it's just justice for this player because of the way he's played tonight that he gets a chance to get a touchdown.
You're right, he almost deserves it, how well he's played.
And so with 8 minutes exactly left to go in the game, McCluskey scores from the 2-yard line to make the score 28-0, and East Brunswick will go for the extra point. High snap, and that was all it took for Scott to come in and block it. So the extra point is no good. And the score remains 28-0, but the score got that way, not the way you think, though.
Right, exactly.
Actually, 3 missed extra points, and 1 good one and a field goal, and now that's how you come up with 28 points. So really, and you see some of the fans have already decided that
they've had enough.
Yeah, this game has been decided. Richie, this has been a very entertaining game, even though it's been East Brunswick all the way. I've really enjoyed the way this team has played. They've played intelligent football tonight, no turnovers,
right?
Taking advantage of the plays that were given to them.
Just playing simple football, and that gets it done. I mean, the thing that I've been impressed with also is, East Brunswick has also shown that other facet to be able to throw the ball here and there when they needed to, which, I thought they could do, but wanted to see it in a game situation. So, East Brunswick, really, really nice job. And, if we look ahead a little bit, they have Sayreville away next week, which should be a really good one.
I've seen the scouts already from Sayreville here this evening. I know they have a lot to chew on as they watch this game. Bob DeMarco, the longtime coach for Old Bridge, even though East Brunswick will not be playing them for a while, still, he likes to get a look at East Brunswick when he can, as well as North Brunswick.
Yeah, that's always a big one on Thanksgiving.
So, Quagliera, who's been the kicker for East Brunswick all evening, will once again probably ground the ball away from Jackson. Gets to the middle. This time it's picked up by number 44, who decides to run the ball, that being William Benora. And North Brunswick will go on offense on their own 40-yard line with the score 28-0 East Brunswick, 7:54 to go in the game.
Well, if you're North Brunswick, you'd like to see a good possession and maybe try to get some points on the board here, not to get shut out.
Boy, that was a long time getting that play off.
That was a disaster waiting to happen there. Lucky he held on to the ball, actually.
Right. So, who was that?
I think it was Justin Springer now.
Okay, you're right. Okay, Springer, who's been really the bright star for North Brunswick tonight on defense.
Yeah, he's played great.
Loss of 2 on the play as the clock continues to run down to 7:20 remaining in the game. 2nd down and 12. Pitch to Jackson on the right side. He's got some room now. Gets outside and angles his way to the sideline. Boy, is he quick.
He is.
I just think of a player of his stature on East Brunswick going with that line. Could you imagine the possibilities?
I mean, he's gotten the ball a lot tonight for North Brunswick, but if I'm the coach, until he can't go anywhere, I give him the ball every single. I tell him, listen, Aaron, you are getting the ball every single time. You let me know if you need a break, but he's got that explosiveness, like you said.
A 1st down for North Brunswick, so they're going to throw it. They penetrate. Boy, I thought he was dragged down there. Ball is caught, looks like.
Yeah, the
let's see.
Back judge is saying no catch.
You sure? Looks like they're going to mark the ball right there.
Unless someone overruled him there. The back judge said no catch.
Yeah, I wish they were a little bit more definitive with their call.
Right, a couple times that's happened tonight where they're kind of looking at each other. And
so that, I guess that'll go as an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10. They mark the ball on this hash mark. Sort of strange that they're throwing the ball, Richie. You had mentioned that Aaron Jackson has been, fairly successful every time he gets his hands on the ball.
Hey, even if you want, spread him out and then throw him the ball, as a receiver. But you're right.
Well, there's the pitch to Jackson. He gets inside, and he's through. And that's all it took, was just to bounce off a tackle, and Jackson gets into the end zone. That was purely his effort.
Yeah, nice cutback there, and you know, when he gets in the open field, it's very unlikely that you're going to catch him.
So a 45-yard touchdown run by Aaron Jackson, coming with 6:36 left to go in the game, makes the score East Brunswick 28 and North Brunswick 6 with the extra point attempt to come. This is going to be attempted by number 86, Christopher Clerge, and he puts it through to make it 28-7 East Brunswick.
Tell you, that's kind of also shown what a nice job East Brunswick's defense has done, you know, not to allow that to happen either. You know, so.
Yeah, no, really, did you see the way Jackson was sort of like swiped at in the backfield, and it kind of gave him momentum to get through that hole, and then after that he was off to the races.
Yep. While we have a chance here too, I just wanted to go through the managers on East Brunswick. They do a great job all the time. Erica Andrew is a 10th grader. Caitlin Durag is a 10th grader. Lindsay David, Laura Fry, Eric Halpern does the video for the Bears. Erin McLaughlin, Alexandra Achman, and Samantha Spinazzola is another manager. And also over by Phil Hostler on the sideline, the student trainer who's at the game here is Yelena Glukova, and she does a nice job too.
So North Brunswick will be kicking off for just the second time this evening. They kicked off to begin this game.
And East Brunswick is ready for an onside kick. They only have Mariano deep. And North Brunswick is set up in an onside kick formation.
I mentioned Clerge as kicking the extra point. Actually, it was Mark Matrone, and he'll also do the kickoff for North Brunswick. And you're right, it does look like an onside kick.
Now they kind of switched, but I think they'll give a little squib or something here. Let's see.
Nope.
Nope.
It's going to boot it down the field. Mariano watches it go out of bounds, and East Brunswick, I believe, gets to get the ball. They either get to kick it off again, or they can take the ball up to the 35, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what they're going to do. So East Brunswick probably in possession mode here now.
Yeah, they're not going to try anything crazy here.
Well, I feel good for the North Brunswick side in that they were able to put points on the board. They were shut out last week at Saraville, and at least they have some points.
Right,
you know,
something to build
for their
on maybe
effort.
next week, right?
Right, through the hole for a short gain.
I think that's Zelak there.
Nick Zelak,
he's been a workhorse tonight.
Yeah,
He's got the ball.
Fair amount of carries. Gets 2 yards on the play.
No, we haven't mentioned a ton of names with the offensive line and defensive line for the Bears, but you know, we've said it a few times, they've been doing a great job tonight.
Oh yes. 2nd and 8. Mariano, nothing fancy, gives it to McCluskey. And Jimmy gets the ball. Oh, up for about a 3-yard gain. They'll make it a 3rd and 6. Actually, we'll call it a 3-yard. Yeah, about 3 yards. East Brunswick in no particular hurry here with a 21-point margin. 28-7 is the score. 5:20 left in the contest. And another handoff up the middle. And this one's going to be short. East Brunswick will have to punt. Have they punted this evening, Richie? I can't recall.
Yeah, I think 2 punts.
Oh,
Remember
you're
the
right.
2
Okay.
they punted away from.
Yes. Yep.
Jackson.
Right, Denise actually getting one inside the 20. That was a fine effort.
And then one almost that they tried to get out of the end zone that was called for a touchback. So I had to think about that for a minute also. That hasn't seemed like they've had to, the way they've moved the ball.
However, North Brunswick will get the ball back. Not a lot of time on the clock, under 5 minutes to play. You figure that the Raiders are going to be coming at Denise. Nope, they actually set up for a return. So a high kick is going to go out of bounds. Safe kick. Goes out of bounds on the 25-yard line. And that is where the Raiders are going to set up shop. They're really going to have to do some quick strike offense. They need to get 3 touchdowns on the board. I think East Brunswick has played very well tonight, but I think they would be a little bit more disappointed if they are able to get one more score on them.
I agree.
They need to keep the score where it is.
Yep. You know, sometimes you get in that mode, you look at the scoreboard, or up 28-0, you kind of let up, and you can't do that.
All right, let's see what happens. Jackson the lone back. And quarterback keeper gets maybe 2 yards before he's gang tackled. That was Patrick Brown. They get some positive yardage, but the backside to that is that the clock's continuing to run.
Right.
And we're under 4 minutes. Not a whole sense of urgency here by this North Brunswick team.
No, they're kind of look like they're the ones up.
Taking their time. Brown drops back, lofts one to the side, and I don't know whether it was tipped or just he didn't have a handle on it, but
kind of looked like a mystery. Looked like number 5 there was going on a fly pattern, and a little miscommunication there.
Well, you saw Brown sort of stop what he was doing over top of center, so you figure an audible was called.
Could be, right.
Not necessarily the best communication going. I don't know, Richie. You as a receiver, did you guys rely on audibles a lot?
You know, a few times we had a couple signals for like a fade route and maybe like a quick slant, but you know, other than that,
this
the
is
play
not the
was
pros.
called. Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want to outthink too much, but you know, there's a couple calls for like a deep pattern, but.
All right, a third and 7. Park's going to pass. He rolls to his left. Now he turns to his right side. Blocked there on Denise and evades another tackle. And finally brought down. Nope, they're going to say he got out of bounds. I thought the official was going to keep the clock running. And he's going to be short by about 2 yards. It'll bring up a 4th down for North Brunswick.
Up, they're keeping the clock going.
Okay. Now the officials need to communicate with each other. One says keep the clock running. The other one says stop the clock.
Maybe one has dinner reservations.
All right, this is a 4th down play. They need about 1.5 yards to 2 yards to keep this drive going. 3:09 left to go in the game. Give is up the middle. Jackson with the ball gets the yardage for the 1st down. And again, North Brunswick needs to move more quick than what they're doing right now. They're going to the huddle. Oh boy, are they taking their time.
Yeah, a lot of confusion too here. A couple player just coming in now.
Boy, how much time have they used? There's the pass. quarterback slipped as he threw the ball, still completes it, and the clock continues to run. North Brunswick might think about using a timeout here. Well, the ball's at midfield, just about a yard short of a first down. Well, perhaps they're sort of throwing the surrender flag. Jackson gets to the outside, slips again, and goes down after a gain of about 5 yards. Now they finally call a timeout with 1:49 remaining in the game, and needing 3 touchdowns. Even a score here doesn't really do much for them.
Yeah.
Well, Richie, this has been a satisfying game for East Brunswick tonight. I think they proved a couple of things to themselves. They proved that they can respond from a loss, a tough loss to Piscataway, and rebound against a fairly decent opponent. They've been able to bottle up a good running back for most of the game.
Right.
Got away on that 1 touchdown run.
Right.
I don't know what the statistics are going to be, but I imagine that Jackson probably has over 100 yards rushing. But he really hasn't hurt them.
Exactly. East Brunswick has been able to stop on the big third downs, and except for that 1 run, like you said, they've contained them pretty well.
There's a pass out to the flat, a little long. That was intended for Claudio. Stops the clock with 1:45. What else do we want to talk about? That play of the offensive line?
Oof. Hey, I'll tell you what, the 3 games we've seen them, they've really dominated. And they'll need to do that as they play the Sayreville's and they play the Old Bridges and, those teams. So
excellent point. Excellent point. That's what's going to win football games for you. You need that steady play by the line. Pitch to Jackson on the right side. Was Fessel, I don't know what the call was there. Maybe he was blocked from the back before he tried to make that tackle. They are going to call a holding penalty. I didn't see that. Did you, Rich?
No, I just thought he dove in. Maybe the guy got a hold of him. I didn't see it.
Well, nonetheless, they're going to bring this back, and it's going to be a 10-yard penalty from where the flag is. So it'll be a 2nd and 20 for North Brunswick.
Like you said, North Brunswick, we looked at their lineup, sophomores and juniors. This could be, a much improved team as the year goes on and then next year.
Absolutely.
First year in the red, too?
Yep. That's always a reality check. 2nd and 20. And a simple running play that really went nowhere. I'm not sure if that was the intended play. I can't imagine the coach sending that in. But it goes nowhere for a loss of about 2, and it's as the clock starts to near 1 minute left in the game, it's a 3rd and 22 for North Brunswick. Pass play. Looks like he's going to throw deep. Cross the middle and caught. Nice reception there. Was that Jackson?
Number 3 was that? Derek Scott?
Okay, it's Derek Scott. It's hard to see the difference between a 3 and an 8 from this distance. So they have a timeout on the field. They call a timeout with a 4th down. About 4 yards to go for a first down. East Brunswick obviously in a prevent mode.
Yeah.
See if we can look at the schedule for East Brunswick beyond Sayreville. See, we took a quick look at it. Okay, next home game will be October 22nd, 2 weeks from tonight. That'll be against Stevens. Stevens not really having a terrific year, but again, they always field a representative team. Then there's that scary team at South Brunswick. You never know what you're going to get with the Vikings.
Right.
That's an away game on October 29th. And then it kind of wrapping up the home regular season schedule at Woodbridge. Here's the play. Pitch out to the left. Jackson.
And he's going to be, what do you think?
I think he's got it.
Yeah, he marked him. He got it there.
Yeah. Gets the first down. North Brunswick, I'll tell you what, just give them some open field and let them do the rest.
Right.
There's the pass. Out in the flat. And this time Fessel was there to break it open.
Read that nicely.
Yep.
I think the nice thing for East Brunswick looking at the schedule is they have Sayreville away. You know, if they get that win, they have a week off and can kind of regather themselves midway through the year and really get ready for that stretch run before the playoffs.
Right, and I'll have to say the Old Bridge game on Thanksgiving, which is Old Bridge always a tough opponent, okay? You play them after the state qualification, those 8 games, so kind of dismiss them.
Exactly.
Of course, you could run into Old Bridge as a state opponent. You never know. All right. That's a busted play. Quarterback Brown was looking for somebody to hand the ball off to, and nobody was there.
Yeah, nice play there by Mike Franchino.
Okay, loss on the play. Clock is ticking down to 17 seconds. They get up on the ball, does North Brunswick. Let's see if this is the last play of the game. Under 10 seconds. Going to throw it. Now he winds up and running with the ball, and that will do it. That's the final score. East Brunswick with a 28-7 win over North Brunswick, an impressive 28-7 win in my estimation. A lot of nice things we saw out there tonight. Good quarterback play, steady quarterback, no turnovers for East Brunswick.
No, the ball went on the ground once, and they were able to recover. So, like we said, that's a big part in winning football games.
And if they give out game balls, well, I'd give it to Jimmy McCluskey for a fine all-around game. Okay, we will quickly go over the scoring as we look at a moon out there for East Brunswick with Danny Fessel on the receiving end of 2 touchdowns, one in the first quarter and then the second quarter of 7 and 27 yards. Made it East Brunswick 12-0 at halftime. And then Ayala came out on an 11-yard run at just like the second play of the third quarter to make it 19-0. That was followed by a Matt Mariano field goal of 28 yards to extend the lead to 22-0 with 4:47 left to go in the third quarter. And then finally McCluskey, our player of the game, topped it off in the fourth quarter with a 2-yard run with 8 minutes left to go to make it 28-0. Jackson with a 45-yard scamper at 6:36 to go. The scoring for North Brunswick, and that is our final. So that's going to wrap it up from here at J. Doyle Field. East Brunswick with a 28-7 win over North Brunswick. They extend their record to 3-1, while North Brunswick falls to 1-3. So for Richie Whalen, this is Jimmy Allinder saying thanks for being with us.